What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the number one show in cryptocurrency, the most consistent show in cryptocurrency. We are live January 29th. A lot of stuff to talk about, guys. So many things about some of the top tokens that we always cover on this show, which is sweet. A lot of stuff with the president, a lot of stuff with the president's Memecoin. We're going to be talking about Pepe as well. But first off, let's welcome in our co-host, Roddy Sorensen. Roddy, how you doing?
What's good? Live from Mammoth, baby.
Live from Mammoth. How is the mountains of Dagestan? How's it treating you?
Good. It's pretty chill. You know, the cold is kind of getting to me today. Breathing in all that cold air. It's like at nighttime. It's like too cold to like sleep, but like I don't know. It's just ridiculous. You know, it's just.
What's the temperature?
Cold as hell, boy. Like probably like 20.
20. Yeah. Is it snowing or do they have like fake snow up there?
Nigga, there's no fake snow up here, my guy.
There's fake snow in a lot of places.
No, they have snow machines though that'll blow like snow onto the mountain for sure. But like no, it's pretty snowy. There was like a big blizzard when I was driving in the other day. It got real spooky. It got real scary. But got a big truck, made it through. But I saw a lot of people on the side of the road. So
yeah, you have to have a big truck and chains. I remember I drove all the way up to Big Bear one time. They turned me around because I didn't have chains. I think we're live on Instagram for the first time. We're dual streaming on Instagram. Are we live?
Yeah.
Can you see us on Instagram? Is anyone on Instagram?
Let me see.
We're streaming there for the first time on Instagram. I'm just seeing if it is.
Oh yeah, we're live.
Are we live? What does it look like? Is it like wide shot?
Yeah. Is there any way I can put this on my story? No, there isn't.
I don't know. That's our first time on Instagram. Welcome if you guys are on Instagram.
What's up?
We appreciate you. And let's get into the show today. So welcome Instagram, welcome Twitter. Already 1,200 people, 1,300 people watching right now. YouTube, Rumble, Kick. We're kind of on everywhere. Shout out to Coach. Coach got it all dialed in. Some stuff that we couldn't figure out. But Rodney, let's get into the markets today. As always, if you are new to the show, this is how we start off the show every single time. So Bitcoin at $101,000, $108,000 all-time high. We were down around 98,000 2 days ago. ETH still trailing behind at $3,100. We'll talk about ETH in just a second. XRP was up to 325 yesterday. After we saw some news with Ripple Labs, potentially that lawsuit being dismissed. I think it just moved to appeal. Solana's at 227, BNB's at 663, Dogecoin is at 32 cents, a $47 billion market cap. Cardano has fallen below $1 once again at 92 cents. Tron is at $24. A lot of close ties between Tron and Donald Trump's World Liberty Financial. Chainlink at $22, Avalanche at $32. A lot of these for me are still, Rodney, like when I'm going through this top 10 through 15 are like all good layer one blockchains, in my personal opinion. Top 10 through 16, really. You can't really go wrong with this section, but a lot are extreme buys for me here today. Is when I'm looking at some of these ranges, a lot of these are extreme buys. What do you think from 10 to 16? I mean, pretty much all good buys from Tron down to SWI.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the top cryptos, they move together, right? Now, what we saw with the ISOs, the Stellars, the Hederas, the Cardanos, XRPs, those are kind of moving at a faster pace than the rest of the altcoins. But, you know, when it comes to top altcoins, you can't really go wrong. And same thing with top meme coins. They're probably going to move together. Some will outpace the others. But I'm really looking towards the ISOs to do some pretty big things here in the future. Again, Stellars, Cardanos, XRPs, quants, and those sorts of things. But when you're buying top altcoins, they kind of just do well, unless it's Terra Luna back in the last cycle where it just fell off the face of the earth, or FTT. Sometimes you get some catastrophes, but for the most part, they're pretty safe.
Yeah, you can get unlucky. I mean, it's just the luck of the draw, right? It also happened with Celsius, Voyager, like where you keep your money. But there are ways to safeguard yourself. But I think that most of these are probably safe. They don't have their own algorithmic stablecoin, which is something to talk about. But I do want to talk about SWI. This is something that we've been bull posting. We're not only going to talk about SWI when it's up. We'll talk about it when it's down as well. SWI is trading at $3.66, an $11 billion market cap. We did see a $5 plus SWI earlier this month in January, $5 plus SWI. It has fallen, but if you zoom out and look at the yearly, I mean, let me go ahead and zoom in so people can see this as well. It wasn't long ago, Roddy. This was in September that SWI was trading below $1. So it did a 500x. It went from from $1 all the way up to $5+ Some sort of a pullback is expected and normal, right? Are you panicking about SWI? Are you still holding SWI? Are you buying SWI at these levels, or are you kind of just holding what you got right now?
I think it's a good time to buy. What we're seeing with the market right now is that a lot of everything's pretty much dumping. Bitcoin's kind of trading sideways, dirtling. A lot of the top like 3, maybe top 10 cryptos have been kind of trading sideways, but we're seeing a massive sell-off with meme coins, and we're seeing a sell-off with some of these top altcoins. But like we always say, these are the times to double down, especially if you have conviction in a project, you've done your research on a project. And Swee's something we know about like intimately, right? Like we've been to AMAs where the developers have been talking about it. We know some of the developers. We know some of the top meme coin projects on Sui. We know how good it is as like an actual product, and when compared to other blockchains like Solana that didn't work for a whole day before, and Ethereum, which is slow as molasses and expensive, Sui's lightning quick, right? So we love Sui, and it's a great time to double down.
And we just saw some big news for Sui today. Very, very big news. Pull this up. Sui is now live on Phantom. I actually checked. I don't know why it wasn't 100% live when I checked. I checked my wallet. Some people are saying it's live. Other people are saying it's not, but this came directly from the Sui network team. Sui is now live on Phantom. Send, swap, and explore the first move-based chain on Phantom. Over 15 million people use Phantom. So you can see, they tweet. This is something that they tweeted. So you can now buy Sui on Phantom. You can trade Sui meme coins. You can buy Sui NFTs. Send, swap, explore. Now live on the Phantom network. Let's talk about how big that is for Sui. Obviously, price didn't do much today, right? I don't think it did anything today off of this news. It's been down a little bit. The markets have been down. But Phantom has 15 million people that use it on a pretty consistent daily basis. It's one of the reasons why Solana has had so much success. Why is this a bullish integration for Sui, and how big do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, it's huge. Phantom has really come out as a premier wallet, non-custodial wallet over the last year. And look, I'm a MetaMask maxi. You know me. I love MetaMask.
Really?
I love MetaMask. I think it's the best. I think before it was the most compatible, best wallet when you compare it to some other wallets. But Phantom has done so much. And not only that, like the UI is fantastic, right? Just looking at it, it's pleasant. Being able to swap, it's easy to swap within the wallet. You can do that on pretty much every wallet, but it seems like it's just more intuitive on the Phantom wallet. And the fact that Solana has dominated the meme coin space, or just the crypto space in general over the last year, and Phantom was the wallet that people use, especially with Pump Fund and those sorts of things. So the fact that you're bringing Sui to the best wallet, in my opinion, is insane. Huge. And I do want to give a shout out to Phantom. They actually follow me on Instagram. Shout out to Phantom. Love Phantom.
On Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram. And
really?
Yeah, and the thing about like the Phantom team is that they're always so active in the replies, and to me that means a lot. So shout out to Phantom team, legit company, and Sweep X Phantom is huge. I think it's huge.
I think it's big. I think it's a lot of the stuff in the crypto space. Like the thing with this was like they announced this 3 weeks ago. So when it goes live, like we probably saw a price increase when it was announced. When it goes live, you don't really see much. I feel like that's also what's happening in the crypto space. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in November, we were at a $64,000 Bitcoin. Donald Trump campaigned on executive orders for crypto, strategic Bitcoin reserves, which kind of turned into a digital asset stockpile, forming some sort of a working body. Like we knew all this was going to happen. And you would expect, right, when these things do happen, the executive orders that he signed for cryptocurrency, I think it was like 3 or 4, you would have expected a price increase. Do you think that these were kind of priced in, because he campaigned on it and because we already went from 64 to 108,000 in about 2 months?
Yeah, you would think. It's interesting, right? It's hard to tell where the market's going to go or why it's doing what it's doing. After he got elected, obviously, the night of November 5th and early morning November 6th, market started to pump, right? Because we all knew that Donald Trump was clearly the best candidate for crypto. And we thought it could have been a few different things, right? A big buy the rumor, sell the news event. He's becoming president, but we also have those different catalysts that things he's supposed to do along the way. So that can like pump, just like Trump, his token, his meme coin Trump. Like there's so many catalysts for that meme coin. It's crazy. And we know the biggest factor in some of these meme coins dying, Jake, is they blow their wad too they blow their wad too soon. They don't have things to look forward to. So in my opinion, the market is like, who knows what's going on with it, but look at the big picture, right? When things like this happen where it's just boring, everything's trading sideways, you feel like your bags are down, think about the big picture and double down on your high conviction plays. And I'm telling you something, Jake, what we've learned in the crypto space is that it always pays off. It just does, so.
You have to zoom out, when you're in it, when you're in the trenches like we are every day, It's tough,
Yeah.
man. I mean, first off, we're at $100,000 Bitcoin, and like people are actually panicking right now. People are scared, and probably a reason why is because a lot of people are invested in meme coins, right? They're not. Most people probably don't own Bitcoin. Like in the chat, guys, let me know how many of you guys actually own Bitcoin versus a lot of people I meet are just strictly meme coins, right? And those are down a lot. I am, you get a little bit worried, but you have to just buy more whenever the markets dip like this, and I see massive dips on some of my higher conviction meme coin plays, like Brett, like SPX, even like Trump, which we'll talk about in a second. I have to force myself to buy more to get a better entry, because when they do send, you're going to be very, very happy. But it's always tough, Rodney. I mean, I always have to force myself to do two things in crypto. I have to force myself to buy when the markets are down, and I have to force myself to sell when I think that it's going to keep going up forever and ever. And I'm taking screenshots and saying, oh my God, I can't believe we made this much money. You have to force yourself. But some bullish news here for Trump, and I'll go ahead and share this. Donald Trump now owns over $500 million in cryptocurrency through his companies, right? After his $250 million investment with TruthFi earlier today. I don't know if you saw this. This was from Cointelegraph. So Trump Media is one of his companies, and Technology Group announces the launch of TruthFi, expanding into fintech with $250 million investments in SMAs, ETFs, and cryptocurrency. So $250 million invested today. And then this was a live look at his World Liberty Financial wallet, Rodney, where he already holds $400 million. He holds a lot of ETH. He has 60,000 ETH worth over $200 million. A lot of wrapped Bitcoin, which he actually bought some real Bitcoin today. He's stabled up probably to buy more crypto. Tron as well, Link as well. But Rodney, a lot of people are panicking. Our president is literally buying hundreds of millions of dollars of crypto. Michael Saylor bought another $1 billion of crypto yesterday. BlackRock's been buying crypto. El Salvador's been buying crypto. You have to kind of at some point take a step back and just sit on your hands and look at what the smart money's doing and say, oh, wait, if all of these billionaires are buying crypto and some of them $1 trillion companies are buying crypto, maybe I should be too.
That's what you have to do every time. A lot of people say things. We saw JP Morgan do it in the news. We see BlackRock talk about, crap about Bitcoin in 2017. And, I give people the, benefit of the doubt to change their opinion over time, But, one of the point and get with it, because the truth is the government's been trying to destroy crypto. They can't beat it. Got to join it now, and thank goodness for Donald Trump, because he was, anti-Bitcoin too back in 2017. I mean, there's an interview with him saying that he doesn't like anything that competes with the dollar. But people are allowed to change their mind over time. And one of the things I would take away from what Trump is buying, and we talk about this all the time, it's like sometimes it's good and okay to cut your losses with some meme coins. And the truth is most meme coins are here for a good time, not a long time. Short-term plays, quick pump and dumps, whatever you want to call them, right? Scams. Right? You can call them, they're a scam or they're a scam, right? So they're one of the two, right? And you could say that in a good way or in a sad way, because the truth is you can use some of those, you could say rug pulls to your advantage, because, that's what they are. But the focus on what Trump is doing, the focus is on buying the big cryptos that matter, Bitcoin, Ethereum, these top altcoins. So if you're buying meme coins and you're playing around in the trenches, at the end of the day, you should always be loading up on Bitcoin and top altcoins, Solana, Ethereum. You know what I mean? If I go back in time, Jake, and tell myself anything, it's like, dude, buy more Bitcoin,
Yeah, I think, of course, buying more Bitcoin is important. Buying more ETH, Solana. Those are your safer bets. And I do want to say we are on Instagram as well. We got some new people here. For those that are on Instagram, we stream every day, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just a good place to get some cryptocurrency news. So if you are on Instagram, if you want to get more cryptocurrency news every day, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for joining us. Over 4,500 people on the stream so far, guys, talking about crypto. But I agree with you, Rodney. I think there's a lot of things that I have learned. But the most important things are when the markets are going down like today, you don't sell. If you have capital, which you should always have capital on the side, you should always save a little nest egg. You put more money into your higher conviction plays. Like a good example is SPX. SPX was at a $1.4 billion market cap. I was buying it then. SPX went to $1.2 billion. I was buying it then. SPX is now at $1 billion. I'm now buying it then, because if I just put all of my money into SPX at $1.4 billion at the top, then you're kind of you're stuck. You want to find a better price. Same thing with Trump. Trump was at $8 billion. We bought. We caught a nice dip on Trump at $6 billion. It's currently finding a floor at $5 billion today. Let's talk about Trump a little bit before we get into the cryptocurrency news, Rodney. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. I switched monitors. Yep, we can still see it. So we have the official Trump meme coin. It is at $27. It's the number 26 ranked cryptocurrency project in the world. $5.4 billion market cap, Ronnie. The Trump meme coin launched less than 2 weeks ago. Dogecoin is the number one meme coin in the world. It launched 12 years ago. 12 years ago, it's the number one meme coin. Trump is at a $5.8 billion market cap. Personally, I believe that Trump has a lot of catalysts, but look how good this chart looks, right? Obviously, from zero up to a $15 billion market cap. We saw this massive dip when they launched Melania. No one really understands why they launched Melania. Then it led into an actual inauguration day, and we saw Trump have a nice run up. He didn't mention executive orders, blah, blah, blah. People panicked. It got listed on Coinbase. Like, it's funny how we have been covering this so closely. We know everything, like all the catalysts. That's why we do have success in crypto, because we understand like what could happen, right? Like, oh, it got listed on Coinbase. Well, when it goes live, it's probably going to pump. But since then, Ronnie, I got to ask you, it's been consolidating really since here. Let's pull on the market cap. Really since the 23rd, in this $5 to $7 billion range. In the crypto space, consolidation is not only normal, but it's also healthy, right? Because I believe that a lot of people ended up selling their their Trump right here, right?
Yeah.
They sold their Trump. They got out because they saw it dipping. They sold the bottom. Most people tend to sell the bottoms, but a lot of people sold here, and they're waiting for it to recover. This consolidation to me is very, very healthy. The fact that Trump is trading the number 3 meme coin in the world right around a $5.5 billion market cap after 2 weeks, and it didn't fall off a cliff when the DeepSeek stuff happened, when the markets crashed, I think it's very, very healthy. But give me your thoughts. I'm actually curious to hear.
Yeah, if you want to go back one tab on your page, you want to open that back up and go back one and look at the rankings, right? And what do I look for if I want to tell whether or not a meme coin is toast, right? And if you zoom out there just a little bit, you can see that obviously Trump is the 3rd largest meme coin by market cap size, and all the meme coins are bleeding out. So if Trump is not falling off the face of the earth and falling out of the top 5, the top 10, top 20, then I'm okay, right? Because I know that it's moving with the rest of the market, and I'm sure that when the market pumps again, it's going to move with the rest of the market. And we talk about this all the time, Jake, and maybe some people on Instagram need to hear this. It's like meme coins are volatile, and that's why we love them, because we hear these insane stories of people making insane gains in a small amount of time. The crazy life-changing games are very rare, but we see 30%, 50% swings on the daily sometime, right, when the market's pumping. And these meme coins are going to pump to the upside. The Trump token, in my opinion, is fine. I wouldn't say just because it's been in the space a little less time than Dogecoin that it's comparable, because I think Dogecoin has shown that it's going to stay here. It's not going to go away. Trump is still new to the space, but what we can bet on is that I doubt that Donald Trump as a president, or just knowing what's going on and him being the guy he is, would let this meme coin fall out of a rug. It'd be so bad.
Competitor.
Yeah,
he'll pump it himself.
Exactly.
He'll pump it himself. What up, Joker? He says, doing a great job as always. I watch every day. We appreciate you guys. We do this every single day. And if you missed the show, we do also post it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. I wasn't trying to. What's that?
Could you imagine if it rugged? He would never let it rug. You know what I mean?
It will never rug. I mean, look, if the pain is almost out, we might go a little bit lower, but you do have to look at the resiliency, right? I really do believe that a lot of the panic sellers, they sold. I have people in my DMs that I like, that I know they're not really in crypto too much like us, but they're like, I was down a couple $100,000. I had to cut my losses. I felt that way too. I was like, fuck. I texted Mike Farley. I was like, fuck, why'd I invest so much? But it's just a normal feeling. That's when you don't want to sell. That's actually when you want to buy more. I don't know. I might be stupid, but I ended up buying a little bit more of the Trump coin. I've been buying a little bit more every day. I wasn't trying to compare Trump with Dogecoin by saying that it's like the length of time that it's been around. But I do think it's interesting that one token's been around for 12 plus years. One's been around for 12 days, and it is number 3 versus number 1, right? So that just shows you just how much attention was on the Trump coin. But I will say this. I mean, I'm getting roasted for it right now, and I love it. And I could be wrong. I hope that I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, but I've just been in the meme coin space so long. I saw what happened with Pepe. For those that don't know, let's just pull it up. If you can pull up my screen here. Pepe, when it first launched, I don't even know if you can see it on this on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Move that. Get off there. Anyways, so Pepe launched, guys. It ran from 0 to a $400 million market cap to a $1.6 billion market cap, and then dipped down to a look at this, $200 million market cap forever. Yeah. Forever. Everyone thought it was dead until 2024, right around the time that the markets corrected, right? We had the Bitcoin spot ETFs. It pumped to like a 3 billion, back down to 1.6, then to a 7 billion, back down to 4, and then all-time highs over an $11 billion market cap. Speaking of Pepe, though, I mean, this might actually still be a pretty good buy as well. $5.14 billion market cap for Pepe.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pepe is my favorite meme coin for obvious reasons, but I mean, all these top, well, I wouldn't say all of them because we're having some whiff is taking a big shit. We've had some, some bangers not looking so good, falling out and just dumping. But, to me, Pepe is a fantastic buy. Trump's a good buy. You know what I mean?
You see this? They announced it.
Did they announce it?
They announced that they will officially be getting on the Sphere. For those that don't know,
God, they needed that.
This was like a year ago, maybe over a year ago. They raised funds. They raised like $800,000 to get the dog with hat logo on the Sphere. 2 months later, they announced, hey, the Sphere doesn't do any crypto advertisements, but now I guess they are. Everybody was like, where's the funds? But this was bullish news. This is what we were kind of waiting for. And you mentioned it. How's WIF doing today? It's up on the day after this news, but it's at a $1.2 billion market cap. I mean, this was a token, Rodney, that was at what, $3+ billion market cap, I think it was.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
holy shit!
It was
$4.58 billion market cap. Is WIF a good buy? Is WIF not a good buy? What do you think here? I mean, dude, what we're talking about down 80%. But look, here's the thing: not every meme coin. I think you said this pretty perfectly. Not every meme coin is worth holding or will make a comeback. Yes, some meme coins that have success, like Doge, Shib, Pepe, Brett, will have an 80% correction and then go parabolic, but not all will make a comeback.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's up, JR? How you doing?
Yeah. Just because a meme coin or any crypto really hit an all-time high before doesn't mean it's going to happen again. A lot of people look to old cycles, not for meme coins because they're so new, but for other altcoins. But I do think that a lot of these meme coins will go away. I mean, think about it in 2021, Jake. We were here, we were alive and well, in the thick of the meme coin craze. How many meme coins are really here from 2021?
4, 5,
Baby Doge, Floki. That's it. And there were so many that were popping at the time, $1 billion market cap sizes too. So it's important to understand that. But I would say that a lot of these meme coins that are dumping right now will recover when the market recovers again, because we do think that this is not the top, right? We do think that we're going to pump some more. That has to happen, bro. It has to happen, right?
It's nowhere near the top. I was having a coffee with Mike today. Got a little 7 a.m. workout in. We were having a coffee. And I'm like, first off, even if Trump wasn't in office doing what he's doing, we wouldn't be at the top, right? It would still be a 4-year cycle. But on top of that, you have a pro-crypto president buying $500 million worth of crypto, BlackRock buying, El Salvador's buying, more and more people. We went from having about 4% of the population owning crypto last cycle to now 7. I mean, it's just a natural 4-year cycle. It's just a natural 4-year cycle. And I do think that crypto is going to have a very, very bright 2025. I do want to show one more chart before we get into the news here. Let me go pull up my screen. A lot of people don't remember what it was like back in 2021. It was scary times.
I'll
zoom in for everybody here as well. So this is the Bitcoin chart in 2021, guys. So COVID happened, obviously, 2020. We dipped down to, I think it was like 3K was the bottom. A lot of people sold, and then everyone got stimulus checks. We started running, right? Bitcoin hit an all-time high over a $20,000 Bitcoin. I remember this. I was home for Christmas, like 25,000. I was like, oh my goodness. And it just kept running. 2021, guys, we hit an all-time high in April. So this is comparable. If you believe in the 4-year cycle, it's every 4 years. So this is 2021. So a lot of people believe that it's going to happen in 2025. We ran up to an all-time high over a $60,000 Bitcoin. Now, right now, it doesn't sound like a lot because we're at 100,000, but keep in mind, this was an all-time high. You can kind of compare it to where we're at today, 100,000. And then, Rodney, we fell off a cliff. Within 2 months, we were down to a $30,000 Bitcoin. So to compare that to today, that's like us being at $100,000 and going to a $50,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like there was so much fear, so much FUD. Everybody was saying they're selling. And then out of nowhere, we started pumping again. We ran up to 46K and then we hit an all-time high over $69,000. So that's why I've been saying, like, even if we do, I mean, we're consolidating here nicely. This is very comparable to what happened. So right around this time in January of 2024, we had the Bitcoin spot ETF listings. Look what happened.
Yeah.
ETFs go live. We consolidated from March until pretty much November, right? Mm-hmm. And look what's happening here. Pretty much from November 15th till now, we've been consolidating. We are in a bull run. I believe that we're going to see the next leg up, which is going to be violent. I think it's going to include a Bitcoin over 125,000. And I think that we're going to see meme coins start to run even harder than Bitcoin. And hopefully, Rodney, we can see Ethereum run as well.
Yeah. the reason why the market, I remember that first peak in 2021 and that big dip. And I think at the time the news came out that like China was banning like Bitcoin mining. It was something with China, and everybody freaked out and they dumped, and the market pumped again. So, and it's funny to see the sentiment change. How quick it is on like social media and stuff like that. Like even in my comments on
we got Stecky on Instagram. What's up, Stecky? How you doing? We gotta get Stecky on the stream, huh?
Dude, I love to see Stecky living, man. That guy's the GOAT, bro. I love
He's
Stecky.
the GOAT. I mean, he made a killing before crypto, and he came in crypto. I think he got wrecked a lot on NFTs, and then with meme coins, he's been doing very, very well.
Our boys out there living, man. I love it.
Coming from the guy that's like literally in the fucking mountaintop snowboarding every day. Sick ass videos too.
Oh, you like the video? Put the slow jams on there with the Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, JR said a lot of KOLs shitting on memes now, calling for a return to utility. I mean, a lot of KOLs are like Andrew Tate. Meme coins are down. They're going to talk shit about them. Meme coins start pumping. They're going to be like, I told you to buy. I told you to buy this meme coin at 100 million. It's just what KOLs do. There's one thing that's for certain. Rodney and I have been bullish on meme coins for about 4+ years, and we will remain bullish on meme coins until we tell you otherwise. But meme coins will run the hardest. I think $125,000 Bitcoin is imminent. Probably in February, we're going to see a nice, massive run up, and we're going to see these meme coins start to send as well.
Yeah, the thing is, like, when people call for utility on meme coins, it's like, what utility? Like, literally during the last run, what utility can they offer that's not useless? That's not some sort of decentralized exchange or some sort of NFT collection or some sort of like really scammy staking mechanism. The best thing we could have ever done is just accept meme coins for what they are. Funny, stupid little pictures of memes, and they pump because people.
Pepe.
That's it. That's it.
Trump.
That's why we like memes. But check this out, Jake. We do have a big piece of news here. If you want to pull up my screen, and it looks like our boy Gary Gensler is going to return to MIT.
No way,
professor. So remember, Gary Gensler taught blockchain courses at MIT and a bunch of different things. So former SEC chair Gary Gensler named professor of a practice at MIT Sloan School of Management. So Gensler will join both the Global Economics and Management Group and the Finance Group with a focus on artificial intelligence, finance, financial technology, and public policy, and will co-direct the FinTech AI at CSAIL initiative. That's going to be huge. So I can't wait to see some of his lectures that he puts online to see how he, how he pivots. But pretty interesting for the crypto space, right? Gary Gensler.
Charles Hoskinson, who is the co-founder of Cardano, or the founder of Cardano, he commented or made like a quote tweet and was like, should I pay someone just to go and sit in his class and smile at him every day? I'm like, that's funny. But yeah, I mean, good for Gary. Like whether you did good or not, I mean, I don't think that matters. At the end of the day, it's all about you were the chair of the SEC. You're going to get a job. You're going to be fine. He resigned. He didn't get fired. It's just, but I don't think he was good for the cryptocurrency. Oh, what up, Lucas? This is my buddy. I've known this kid for like 20+ years. I didn't know you were LOL on YouTube. We get a quick Super Bowl prediction. Sincerely, El Savoy. We got Eagles Chiefs. No, it's a different friend. It's hard not to go with the Chiefs, right? Three-peat. They look good. The refs are on their side. You're playing against like 17 when you got the Chiefs. So I think it's going to be a good game. But if I had to say right now, I'd say Chiefs. I'd love to see the Eagles do it though.
I think Chiefs are going to get it. Yeah, it's Patty Mahomes, man. That team is good. Yeah, when it matters, they're good. So
best ever. I mean, really, probably the best football team ever. Maybe the Patriots with Tom Brady. There was probably some shit before our time, like the Steelers. I think were really good back in the day. The Redskins were good back in the day. But I think the Chiefs might be the best, at least in the modern era, the best ever. I mean, three-peat. If they do a three-peat, it's never been done before. If they do a three-peat, they are the best ever. But
yeah,
who we got. Who do you got, Lucas? Let us know in the comments below, Rodney. But yeah, it's Gary Gensler at MIT. Very, very interesting. Wasn't expecting it. He'll be fine. If I was there, I'd take his class.
He's a smart. Okay, in Gary Gensler's defense, right? Because I don't think he was an evil person. I think that one, he's not really in control as much as we think he is. And I think that two, that really, he never really went after Bitcoin or anything like that. He just kind of went after, some of these projects that could be doing something that they deem as illegal, So I don't think he's a completely evil person. I don't think we like him in the crypto space. I think that they met. Their biggest issue was this. Check this out. He works at MIT, right? Caroline Ellison, Sam Bankman-Fried's ex, right? Sam Bankman-Fried's family. They all know each other at MIT. They all knew each other. He missed the major catastrophes of the crypto space. He missed the FTX, the Celsius, the Voyager, the Terra Luna. He missed all that and went after other projects. So my biggest thing with him is that you missed all the other ones and you're being super reactive instead of proactive with all these good projects. So to me, it's like, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But
I want to share this too on that note. Like you said, I don't know if he's evil or what he is, but at the end of the day, look, they filed under Gary Gensler's leadership more than 2,700 enforcement actions and obtained approximately $21 billion, Rodney. $21 billion in penalties and disgorgement between fiscal years 2021 and 2024. The agency returned more than $2.7 billion to harmed investors. So they pocketed what, $18.3 billion? $18.3 billion.
I don't think all their enforcements were bad. I mean, we've heard about some straight scumbags getting clapped. Like some NFT people, like all kinds of there's some real scumbags out there getting clapped.
Yeah, but a lot. I mean, regardless, like even Binance, did they do anything that wrong? But Binance settled. CZ Binance went to jail for 4 months. They settled for $4 billion. So I think that there is part of the government that's just telling him, like there was someone telling him, like, and dude, I don't know, is it sales? Do you get like a commission? You might get a little piece of the pie. The more people you sue and the more money you bring in, you might get a little piece. There might be some incentives.
Well, if Kamala Harris became president, he'd be a king. The thing is, like the Binance situation, it's like it depends how you look at it. If you look at it as a DeFi person, that they decentralized, anybody should be able to do what they want. It's on the libertarian views, whatever. But if you think of it, from the U.S. government or the Department of Justice, like, oh, they're letting terrorists, do this and whatever on their platforms. It depends on how you look at it. But Gary Gensler, I think he's one of those people where he probably doesn't get a bonus, but he looks good for getting some sort of job done. And
he might get a commission though. I mean, you never know what's in that contract. Like, hey, you get 0.01% of all fines that you bring in. It's like you brought in 27 billion. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's sales, dude.
It's sales, dude. It's sales. I mean, there's money. Anytime there's money, someone's got to sell something, right? Sell something. Yeah. But we never really know exactly what happened there. But Gary Gensler at MIT, pretty exciting. We have 7,500 people in here, guys. If you are on Instagram, this is our first time streaming on Instagram. Let us know. I'm going to go through the comments right now and see. We can't see your comments on the screen. We need to get that fixed. Coach is doing a good job bringing some of them up here. But I'm going to go see what it looks like on Instagram. Let's see what else we have in the news today.
Yeah, if you want to pull up my screen right here. So check this out. So Paul Grewal of the SEC's treatment of crypto. So check this out.
This is the Coinbase chief legal officer, correct?
Yeah, Paul Grewal. Yeah.
But the most important thing from Coinbase's perspective is that the rules in place, as set by the SEC, by the CFTC, and ultimately by Congress, treat these projects on a non-discriminatory basis and allow the markets to sort out who wins and who loses, rather than winners being picked and losers being picked by unelected bureaucrats in Washington. But
I thought that was interesting, right? So treat these products as as a non-discriminatory basis and allow the market to sort out who wins and who loses, rather than winners being picked and losers being picked by unelected bureaucrats in Washington. Now, that's interesting, right? Because there's been a lot of drama with Coinbase lately, Jake, and you made a video on it, and I do want to talk about that later because you've been kind of taking shots at Coinbase a little bit because it seems like there's a little inconsistencies on how they're listing things and those sorts of things, right? A lot of people feel like they should be listing some meme coins and stuff like that. I thought that video was interesting, especially after watching your video. So talk to us about like what you've been seeing with Coinbase. There's been like a lot of news on like VVS and stuff like that, but what's up with that?
Let's play the video. That way we can I don't know if the whole audience watch it, then we can give our color on it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up here.
Yeah, you pull it up. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely some interesting stuff taking place at Coinbase. Shout out to Dom for editing this. Let's give it a listen and see what people think. Go ahead, pull this up. Coinbase is under the microscope today as it's been confirmed there has been some insider trading taking place on its most recent launch on the Coinbase platform yesterday. If you missed it yesterday, Coinbase decided to launch the Venice token on their platform, which, interestingly enough, had only been live for trading for about 5 hours before Coinbase decided to list it. Now, VVV was a token that was previously live for trading, and they decided to relaunch on Base, but still a Coinbase listing, the mecca of all exchanges, 5 hours after the relaunch, definitely raised some questions. And then we go and find out today that 2 Aerodrome employees have been suspended for insider trading on the VVV token. So Coinbase was an exchange that in the past stayed away from listing a lot of meme coins. And to be honest, as a meme coin investor, I like the fact that they're listing more and more meme coins on their platform. But some of their recent listings, including the VVV token that was listed 5 hours after launching, definitely makes you wonder what goes into this listing process at Coinbase. So yeah, essentially there was, Coinbase back in 2022, 2023, they didn't list any meme coins ever. No. They listed Doge, they listed SHIB.
Bonk.
That is it.
Bonk.
And then in December, you're right, they listed Bonk, which I believe has close ties to Solana founders and well-connected and, a lot of utility. But once Gary Gensler announced his resignation, they've listed 15 plus meme coins, Roddy. They've listed Mog, they've listed Giga, they listed Moodang, they listed Peanut, the squirrel that was like 3 weeks old. They listed Trump. They listed Toshi. They listed Degen. They listed all these other tokens. And yeah, I think a lot of it comes from frustration a little bit from the Brett community, because Brett on base is a token that, we like a lot. We found very, very early, and we think it should be listed on Coinbase. But the one that happened yesterday, VVV, I mean, dude, it didn't launch within 5 hours and it was already on their platform. I mean, allegedly, there might not be any insider trading happening at Coinbase, but at Aerodrome, which is like a liquidity provider for the base chain.
It's a centralized exchange.
Yeah. It's a what?
It's a decentralized exchange, Aerodrome.
Okay. It's a decentralized exchange, but they admitted, look, the timing of a small percentage of trading activity around the VVV launch was flagged by internal monitoring. The investigation resulted in the suspension, which is firing, of 2 contributors within 3 hours of launch. So essentially, there was insiders that knew, they bought a lot. And this is probably happening all the time. But Roddy, there was a time when Coinbase was staying away, like they were the gold standard for listings. And honestly, now, look at all of the meme coins that were listed on Coinbase. They had a nice run up. They're all down significantly. WIF is on Coinbase. It ran to a 5 billion. It's at 1 billion.
That's not fair. Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair, because all meme coins are down.
I'm not saying that it causes them to dump, but I'm just saying that maybe it doesn't have the power that it once did.
Well, I think it does. But okay, so here's the thing. I think that Coinbase, along with a lot of other people, are just they recognize the landscape, and they recognize that, oh, Gary Gensler's gone. Donald Trump's president. Oh, he launched his own meme coin. And we see everybody and their mom launching their own meme coin now. Like the celebrity token Meta just made a crazy comeback, which I didn't think we needed that again.
Wait, is it back?
Oh yeah, I think what's her name? There's a few.
I see them, but I don't even buy, guys. If you're watching the stream right now, and I will say this, I will buy S tier celebrities, right?
Yeah.
You give me a Donald Trump, you give me a Joe Rogan, you give me a Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul has a lot of influence. You give me a Drake,
Mr. Beast.
You give me a Mr. Beast. You give me an Elon Musk, a Dana White, but a Bad Baby. I saw her do it. Like the girl that got famous, and she was like, "Catch me outside" on Dr. Phil. Yeah, it's gonna be a rug pull, fam.
I mean, shout out to her though for making a career off that shit. That's wild. She's killing it.
For her.
What I would say with Coinbase is, like, remember, they've been in trouble. Coinbase has been in trouble for insider trading before. This happened like 2020, I believe. But to me, Aerodrome coming out and actually admitting that and telling everybody that before someone on chain found it is huge, getting ahead of that. And they're the #1 decentralized exchange that people use for Base. I think it's next is Uniswap. But yeah, to me, I'm not surprised that a lot more people, just like Binance before, remember Binance was listing small cap meme coins. They're getting more liberal with their listings. We just want to see consistency, because to us, it doesn't make sense for Brett on Base not to be listed when it's been the #1 meme coin on Base forever, like the biggest project forever. It did get flipped by Toshi for a little bit, but then obviously Brett took it back over. And I can't think of any reason why that Brett may not be listed, just because supply control, right? Because maybe it's too much of the supply of bread is owned by a couple of people. Now, the argument is, well, Trump is supply controlled. My counter argument is, well, it's Trump coin. Like, they're not going to rug it. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting conversation. We just want to see consistency and like, hey, man, why aren't you listing Brett? Like, what is your reasoning for that? You know, so I understand the frustrations.
Yeah, I think Crash put out a tweet. I'm trying to find it, but he was like, it's not. I mean, like, look, they listed Pepe, which, I mean, bro, some sketchy shit happened at Pepe back in August of 2024, right?
For sure. Yeah.
2023. Yeah. 2023. Holy shit. I was in Israel. That was a year plus ago. No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Some sketchy shit happened back then with Brett, or excuse me, with Pepe. They still listed it. The Trump token's controlled by 80%. I get it. It's Trump. It's not some random developer at Brett. I get it. Yeah. But I guess if it is supply control, I mean, regardless, I mean, the token's done pretty well so far, but I don't think that, and I'm actually guilty of it. I've been tweeting it a lot, like, you know, Brett to Coinbase, Brett to Coinbase, Brett to Coinbase. I'm not going to tweet that anymore. I don't even care if it happens. If it happens, it happens. I don't think it's that big of a catalyst. I think Robinhood would be bigger. I think Binance would be much bigger for Brett.
I think that whatever's going on, like, what are the questions that need to be asked? Because the same thing, you know, I thought about with Pepe, but you got to think that if Coinbase or Binance are going to list like a token like that, and it's supply controlled, they got to get in some sort of meeting with some sort of people that hold the keys and then talk to them about that and maybe put it in another multi-sig where they have control of it or something like that. Come, meet in the middle somewhere. And I have to think that, if the Brett, whoever the Brett devs are, right, they would have to come to Coinbase and talk about something, because in my opinion, Coinbase as an exchange, I wouldn't list a token either that was supply controlled by people that we don't know that could dump all at once.
Yeah.
Docs. You just wouldn't. Yeah, docs to them. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but that has to be part of it, right?
Docs to me, give me a plan. I don't know, maybe like what do you do? What do you do? But obviously Coinbase sees the tweets, they see the images, they see the messages to list Brett. Everyone sees it. It's the number one meme coin on the chain.
This is 2 consecutive L's. I mean, they just had an L with the Solana situation. I was trying to buy some Trump on the Coinbase exchange last week, and it took like 48 hours to go through. So
yeah. Solana's bad though. Solana is bad. This is a quote. Ember dude, has Haktua woken up from her nap? Has she come back? It might have fucked her, bro. Honestly,
that did her in, bro.
I mean, that's just imagine like you're the most loved girl in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like she was so loved everywhere she goes, and then from there, just like literally everyone hates you. The entire world. It probably did something to her mental. It's probably tough to come back after that. But unfortunately, we don't welcome her back. For those that don't know, Haktua girl, the girl that got famous for talking about giving blowjobs. Launched a meme coin that rugged probably hundreds of millions. And realistically, Rodney, I don't know the whole story. I doubt she's at fault as much as we think. I don't think she probably even knows how to sell crypto. I think some bad people got in her corner and gave her some bad advice.
People don't want to give her a pass, guys, but and I get it. But if what just goes on, like Jake, we've worked with so many developers, like we understand when we look at somebody like Haktua, like there's a million girls like her, just kind of airheaded, fucking got rich off of something. She doesn't know what the fuck is going on with a token. It's like Steph Curry promoting an NFT project or Tom Brady promoting FTX. They don't know the inner workings of it. Someone just tells them, hey, we got this thing for you. It's going to make a lot of money. Yes or no? Just got to make a few appearances. They go, okay, yes. And then FTX collapses and everyone's like, Tom Brady's a scammer. It's like, how did he know the inner workings of what's going on? Haktua, maybe she doesn't get a pass. And the reason why she doesn't get a pass, Jake, is because of the way she handled it after. She handled it so poorly, just pretty much not taking any of the blame, not being apologetic, nothing. Just like, oh, I'm going to go to bed now, whatever. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? We're going to try to get the money back. I'm sorry, whatever. Nothing. So to me, that's why.
Look it up. What was her podcast called? Haktua podcast?
I think it's called Talk Tua.
Pull this up, coach. I just want to see if she has because it was the number 3 podcast in the world.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
We loading Spotify. And she December 3rd. Yeah, it's right around the time that she launched her meme coin. She hasn't done a podcast since then. So she's going through some dark shit, man. And Talk to her. The title was How to Avoid Getting Canceled. No way. I'm actually going to fucking tweet that in a second. But while you are here, guys, if you do want to follow Locked In with the Boys, come to Spotify. Locked In with the Boys is here, the number one show in the cryptocurrency space. Look at that, Rodney. Almost 600 5-star reviews. So if you are on Instagram, if you are on Twitter, Rumble, wherever, we're streaming all over live, but you can tune in afterwards. And I think this is going to be a crypto show for the bull run, and we'll always talk crypto, but we might have to go politics, segue, mainstream shit, and talk shit afterwards. I think so.
Yeah, you know what? Some people that come just strictly for crypto, like I get it. Like you want to hear all things crypto, but sometimes we got to sprinkle in some pop culture, some drama, some politics, because I think it's good, and a lot of it does affect crypto. So just relax,
And this is actually pop culture. Speaking of pop culture, let's get into it. Where did this guy go?
Luigi, I know, my hero.
He was all over. He was everywhere. He had the hardest foot of all time. I haven't heard anything about Luigi Mangione in months. Vision says you have Spotify. Yeah, go to Locked In with the Boys. You can find us there, guys. The number one crypto show. And like I said, we post all of our episodes. So if you miss it, you can listen in here on Spotify. Spotify is much better. But Rodney, what happened to this guy? I mean, I really, how did I not know it was titled Locked In? I have to search Rodney name. He was the talk of the town, Rodney. He had the hardest profile picture ever. And then literally, have you seen or heard anything about him in weeks?
Well, the media has a short memory, but I guarantee you when his trial actually starts. He'll be in the headlines again. And so much has happened, right? The election, and then all those like terrorist attacks we had, and then probably a few other events I can't mention, and playoff football. There's been so much shit that's been happening that people just forget. Like they don't have the capacity to remember all this stuff. But I still, keep up with it a little bit. And this guy is interesting fellow.
Yeah, I do want to respond to a comment here. I'm on my phone. Take away menu. Is this a fake live? Do they actually see the chat?
No, we see the chat. Yeah.
Do you? I mean, you only do it on your phone. So we're using a platform on live StreamYard where we can see all these comments. Like we can go ahead and just pull up all these. But for some reason, Instagram doesn't do it there. So
you have to pull up your Instagram in another tab and then look at the comments.
Okay. So we do see the comments. We are live right now, guys. And
Coach can probably see them from his computer since he's logged in there.
Yep. No, he's posted them over there. But yeah, someone asked. We are live. Over 30 people on Instagram. Almost 10,000 people on Twitter here, Roddy. Let's get into some more news too today.
So we have Vivek going on Adin Ross's show, and he's actually explaining Bitcoin. Now, we do have some drama. I guess Vivek was kind of pushed away out of Doge, which is interesting, right? I haven't heard much of Vivek.
Who do you believe? I mean, he was on Fox News yesterday, I believe it was, and they asked him about it, and he says, I was not kicked out of Doge. I'm deciding to run for governor, and Doge is in good hands with Elon. So it's just like, where'd you hear that? The media, or is it, is it on X? Is it truthful?
It's just crazy for him to run so hard on it, and then you want to be a part of it, and then now, no, governor, So I don't know. Who knows? But this is interesting. So he's on Adin Ross. Obviously, what's interesting, Jake, and I don't know if you saw, obviously, we had the new what we call her, press secretary that came out yesterday. She's
good.
Dude, she's good. But
she's young, 27, and kind of handling like that's young.
Raw. Next question. But what I would say is, that's a Rodney for sure. But what I would say is one thing they talked about yesterday was adding in independent media and people that are on social media. They're going to have people like Adin Ross or like people that are involved with the news and have podcasts in those briefings with the rest of the mainstream media, which I think is great because, Jake, what we noticed about this last election was it was the election of podcasts. And a lot of people were talking shit about Trump because they didn't think he did enough door knocking, but it turns out that's not the strategy. The strategy is to go on popular podcasts like Joe Rogan, right? Like Theo Vaughn, like Adin Ross, like all these guys to win the hearts of young Americans, right? But Vivek went on last night, and I think this is a great thing for Bitcoin and crypto, and explained to Adin Ross pretty much what Bitcoin is.
Hard gold doesn't have to be the only gold. Gold has to be transported. It has to be held. What if there was a different way to hold a finite supply of something of inherent value? So that was actually part of the premise behind Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I would put that in a different and, in some sense, superior category to something that you could just print more of because then it's not differentiated. I'm not one of these people, though, that turns crypto into like a new religion. I'm all in on this coin or that coin. It becomes like a substitute for faith.
Got it.
But I do think that the ability to opt out of the traditional financial system is a good thing, and it would hold people accountable, hold people's feet to the fire by keeping the government more accountable. If people had the ability to opt out of the traditional currency system, that then forces the government itself in the long run to be more disciplined about its spending rather than just turning on the money printing machine.
That's interesting. And if you understand Bitcoin and understand why it was created, that was the main reason why it was created, was for some sort of currency. And Jake, I think the best point of all, Jake, is when we talk about owning, assets that can appreciate, obviously gold is a big contender, but Jake, how much gold can you move with if you had to move all of a sudden,
A couple bars, 10 bars max.
Yeah. And good luck getting through security and good luck getting through security, Jake, with more than $20,000 cash, right? But if you got your ledger with you, your cold storage, they can't tell how much, Bitcoin you have on you. So Bitcoin's the ultimate asset, especially when it comes to being able to just take it anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And I do have another chart that I want to show here that really shows the significance of just like how important crypto is becoming, and the reason why Bitcoin could take over pretty much as just a form of currency. So check this out, Jake. Crypto mobile wallets hit an all-time high of 36 million users in the fourth quarter of 2024. Jake, when it comes to bank accounts, not everyone has access to bank accounts in American dollar. But let me tell you something. Everybody around the world, right? They got an Obama phone. They got some sort of cell phone, and all you need is a crypto wallet there. And that's why crypto is the ultimate peer-to-peer payment system, is because you don't need a bank account. You don't need Venmo. You don't need Western Union. All you need is an address. That's it. So I thought that was interesting.
I think it's very interesting. It just shows you mass adoption. I mean, 7% of people own it, and these apps are getting better, right? These apps are getting better and better and better. And we also have something called X Money coming. We're not really sure what that's going to look like right now, but like a banking platform for Twitter. I don't know if you have anything pulled up on that, but that was announced yesterday or the day before. They did a partnership with Visa, and I think Elon wants to make it like an all-in-one banking app, which is wild. Like switching from Chase. But personally, bro, I would feel better to have my money on X, where you can say what you want, don't have to worry about getting. It sounds crazy to say it now.
Yeah,
but, I mean, we saw it with Bank of America. Donald Trump called out Bank of America for deplatforming conservatives. They said, no, we've never done that. Mark Andreessen went on Joe Rogan and gave 20 examples about how they did it. I would feel more comfortable having my money on something like X than Chase. It sounds really crazy to say right now, but in 2 or 3 years, it probably won't sound that crazy.
Yeah. Interesting. You know, now banks are going to get in line because they understand who's in charge now, right? All that shit that was happening before, it's out the window, you know, especially, you know, a lot of crypto banks just getting terminated. Like I think it was Signature Bank, something bank, Silvergate Bank, some bank like that. I got absolutely wrecked because, you know, a lot of companies didn't want to work with them because they help with cryptocurrency. But all of these banks are going to fall in line now. I don't think deplatforming is going to be a big issue now, but Jake, we're big crypto guys. And the reason why we're so big on crypto and we hold all of our net worth in crypto is because we believe and we understand the space. And to us, it's boom or bust, baby. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and we've been all in. You know, I remember in 2021, in 2017, like, dude, I've never really timed the market good. I hope I do better this time. I will exit a lot of my crypto. You know, even though I'm long-term bullish, I think it's good to take profits and you can buy back in at a lower price. But 2017 to 2018, I didn't sell anything. 2021 to 2022, I sold on the way down. Like we went up to $4,900 ETH. I was believing everyone. It's a super cycle. It's going to 10 million. So I ended up selling a lot of my ETH, like 3,500 to 3,000. You know, decent, probably around 3,000. And then this cycle, like you can still be long-term bullish and take profits. We literally were holding our entire net worth at the bottom. You know, like at a $15,000 Bitcoin and $1,000 ETH, we were still bullish.
yeah.
And it's hard not to be bullish. Someone asked a question about an exit strategy. Everyone has a different one. I mean, my plan right now is I'm not like, especially today when the market's down, I'm not selling. You know, like I mentioned, I did get Ethereum at least this cycle at $1,000. So if I need to pay rent or something like that, I will take some Ethereum and pay there. But my goal still is to hold till around October. You know, really take a good look at the market in the summertime. Usually we pump before May, you know, April, and like we usually take a little bit of a dip in May, sell in May, go away, and and I think that we still are on track for October, but this is always subject to change. Just because we say it once doesn't mean it's true. But you know, you don't have to time the markets. You know, you don't have to try to time it perfectly. If you take a little bit of profits in June, July, August, you know, you might not hit it perfectly, but at least you're still doing better than if you're on the way down, right?
Yeah, that's a great point from Jake. You know, and obviously this applies to like large market cap cryptos. Like those, I don't really worry about having to take profits every single day. Like Bitcoin, I don't even check it. You know, some of my top altcoins, I don't even check it unless I want to trade them for meme coins. You know, the day-to-day like degeneracy that I get into on, you know, just online, I see like a play that I want to buy, or you know, I just feel like gambling on my Phantom wallet. Like I'll buy that and sell it within the day and make some money and be good with that money and not have to worry about holding it. And sometimes I'll miss it. Sometimes I'll miss a 100x. But you know, being in this space, Jake, you understand that most of the time when you sell and you make profit, you probably
a 2x is good, right? Like you can't complain. A 5x is great if you can do a 5x a night. You know, you like because if you hit a 5x, Rodney, that allows you to gamble on some plays and lose 5 times and still be break even, right? Yeah. Obviously, it's not the name of the game, but sometimes, you know, you just got to be selective. And what's up, AJ? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. You just got to be selective. Just Billy says, I need to lock in an exit strategy. I've lost so much because I didn't sell when I should have. Yeah, so it's all different too. Like Bitcoin, like your exit strategy could be literally 1 hour, or it could be like Bitcoin forever. Give it to your great grandkids. So it's all dependent on the asset class as well.
Yeah, we do have the FOMC in 2 hours. Jake, I mean, AJ, it's like sometimes good news is bad news is good news. Like we're in a wonky time where I don't know. Is
this the first one since Donald Trump's in office?
Yes. And there's a lot of pressure on them to lower interest rates because obviously Trump wants to look good. I don't know if that's going to help inflation long term. I don't know. What do we expect from the FOMC? we know that Trump wants them to lower interest rates, but I don't think they do. I don't think they want to. I remember like a month and a half ago, they were talking about not lowering interest rates at all for the entire year or something like that. But obviously Trump wants them to. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of pressure they're getting internally. I don't know, what kind of power Trump has over Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell doesn't seem to care, so it's going to be interesting, it's going to be interesting. So I don't know.
And what happens? I mean, I also think they're like playing a game. Like Jerome Powell and his team understand like Trump is going to strong ball them a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
You might try to like get one past Trump, and hold your ground for a little bit, because at the end of the day, you're not going to hold your ground. They're like, do you think that Jerome Powell is going to listen to you? And he's like, yeah. Do you see that clip of Trump? He's like, yeah. They're going to listen to me. So it'll be interesting. I mean, regardless, as long as no other dumb reporters are like, are you going to buy Bitcoin today? And he's like, we can't legally buy Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to crash too much. It was a good question. Yeah, it's a good question. But I think that we will probably have hopefully we have some positive news, right? Because this one meeting could be the catalyst that starts us, because crypto's just kind of waiting there. We do need some momentum. I mean, we've already had executive order signed, but I think if the Fed starts turning bullish on the economy, then you're going to start to see crypto really start to run.
Fuck it. Let the next generation deal with inflation, baby. What's interesting is that, before, like when they would raise interest rates, it would be bad for the market. And they lower it, it's good for the market. But my thing is, like, if inflation is bad, that's just a more reason to buy Bitcoin, because that's what it is, the ultimate hedge against inflation. So regardless, just buy Bitcoin. This kind of day-to-day or month-to-month news will make you go insane. But it's going to be interesting, right? It's going to be an interesting story tomorrow morning, Jake, on what exactly happens.
I can't wait to cover it. We're going to be covering it later today. This is the Wall Street cheat sheet. I want to ask everybody in the chat, whether you're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, wherever. If you're on Spotify later, you probably can't do it, but where are we at in this cycle? So we have disbelief, hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, complacency, and that's when the dip starts. I honestly think we're almost in the belief section, Rodney. We're like optimism, the rally is real. Belief is time to get fully invested. Like you've kind of run up, you pull back a little bit. The thrill is I will buy more on margin. Got to tell everyone to buy. Euphoria, I'm a genius. We're all going to be rich. We're not at euphoria yet. I can promise you that. Maybe thrill, but I think we're kind of in belief. I think that crypto goes much, much, much higher. I mean, the Fed flips bullish. Donald Trump keeps buying Bitcoin. Meme coins start pumping. Retail investors start coming into markets. Crypto app stores are number one. The news is covering it. I think that we're kind of in belief. Like I think we're kind of in between belief and thrill. Where do you think we're at?
Yeah, I think belief and thrill. I think it's perfect, and I do think that 2025 is going to be bullish. AJ said it pretty good here in the comments. The only way this train slows down is a black swan. Now, Jake, I have a question for you, Jake. What black swans in the crypto space, not outside, not World War III, do you think in the crypto space would really destroy the market? Seeing some trends. What are we seeing? What do you think? Like, what in the space really dump us?
We saw one yesterday. Let's play off that, or 2 days ago. The DeepSeek AI company, just a Chinese company, has nothing to do with crypto whatsoever. Pretty much announced that they built an open AI, a ChatGPT, for $5.6 million, caused the stocks to crash, caused crypto crash for no reason.
Though,
I know, but it's just showing you like how sensitive the market is and investors are. Like, oh my God, and people just sell off that news. I think that there could be stuff with exchanges, gambling customers.
He's looking a little.
I think like proof of reserves, if you don't have proof of reserves, which I think all the top ones do, Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com, Gemini, but that I think it all comes down to leverage, right? Like kind of what we saw, like these high interest bets that we saw in 2022. Now, you only get liquidated on the way down. You're probably not going to get liquidated, but I would imagine there's a lot of exchanges and people in the crypto space that are doing bad stuff. Another black swan event. I'm not too familiar with his business and his strategy, MicroStrategy. If he gets liquidated and it turns out that his investment strategy has been good and all these people losing money, that could cause the entire space to collapse, because that's not just like Ethereum or Solana or Cardano. It's Bitcoin. It's the number one. So hopefully he set it up where it's like it's impossible to get liquidated, which I don't think it is.
I think around like 17K or something like that. Like Bitcoin would have to dump. Obviously, it would take one black swan event for us to get to that black swan event, but you can see how these dominoes could fall like all together.
Trump, like not doing what he says he's going to do would cause a huge correction, right? Like, but that didn't happen for a while. I mean, no one expects, the digital asset stockpile and all these things to happen today.
Tether imploding
Tether imploding. There's a lot of black swan events that could happen. Will any of them happen in 2025? No. Will there be some black swan events in 2026? Yes. There's always something, right? Whether it's a hack, an exchange, scams, Celsius, Voyager, Terra Luna, there's always something. That's why it's better to get out of the markets before that happens. But those also do give us a better time to buy the dip. And Rodney, with that being said, that is the show today. We appreciate everybody that tuned in on X and YouTube as usual. If you are on Instagram, guys, we do this every single day, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be live tomorrow. We're going to try to find a way to make it a little bit better where, I don't know, maybe we can dual stream. I don't know. We're going to work on Instagram, but we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah.
And that's the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace.